Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On the show, we have a special guest, David Schwan. David is a coach, podcast host, and a real estate entrepreneur himself, on specifically more on multifamily investing. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, David Schwan. David, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and I hope that I can help educate your listeners and watchers and help them learn
Absolutely.
a little bit more.
Absolutely. So in next few minutes, we are going to learn a lot from you. So let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you are surrounded with that inspired you to get into a multifamily real estate investing?
Um, I grew up on the on the poor side of town and wanted to just always knew that there was more out there.
Mhm.
And I've been in the construction industry, most of my lifetime. It was how I really got started and how I got introduced into the power of real estate and the power of building something and, being able to take raw land and turn it into something beautiful. And that's what really enticed me to go down this road. And I've started, I started getting coaching and mentoring and, starting to learn and build, bits and pieces from other people. And then I really, once I figured out the power and the advantages of being in the multifamily space, I just started digging in and really learning all that I could in that space. And that's how I landed on the multifamily, was just due to all of the benefits and everything that it provides.
Mhm. Wonderful. Just curious, how many doors you can own and manage in this whole multifamily thing?
Right at the moment, I don't have anything. I was up to 110 doors, and then we got an offer for it and decided to take it. And with I'm in the market of in the Nashville.
I lost your. Okay, no, you're back. David, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. We with it being in my market of Nashville,
Yeah.
the market's really hot, so we're on the sideline right now looking for new deals to jump on. So we're vetting deals and we're looking at deals and we're running we're running the numbers on everything, and we're just kind of waiting for something that makes sense to us that we can partner on and make some money on the next one. But we're looking at the moment.
Yeah, so you are in Tennessee, and just to give you a clue, we are building a small thing, a 4,000 acre a safe city in Tennessee, in your town, so not too far from you.
Awesome.
So we should talk more in offline. Of course, we can't discuss it on this one. This is about you are sharing your expertise, so that's good. So it's the right timing. You are exploring something else, and I have a friend. He's a reckless billionaire, $10 billion, person. He owns over 160 miles of beachfront properties in U.S. and around the world, and owns 48 businesses. So I am a student learning from him how to conceptualize, take a raw land, conceptualize, and build something very much valuable for everyone involved, and everybody win, including you as an investor win too. So everybody win. So I will be happy to make an introduction to him so that way you can discuss more about your taking a raw land and making it beautiful. I was listening to every word you said.
Definitely. I mean, that is, that's just the power of imagination mixed with real estate, and being able to hold that vision of this, having seeing that raw land and being able to visualize and putting something that, like you said, is beneficial to everyone on top of it, and make it turn it from raw land into something useful and beautiful, is it's just amazing to be able to do that.
In fact, I will arrange that meeting, and when you get on a meeting, don't forget, ask him how you make a few thousand, couple of thousand% on your deals. That's it's not the 15, 20%, 30%. So ask him how you can conceptualize in a way where it makes thousands of percent then
Oh,
small.
definitely. I'll write that down and make sure that I do ask him that for sure.
Good. So based on your David, so while you're sitting on a cash pile to look for the new deal, I'm sure you learned so many things, So what are the top three missteps to avoid when you're getting into a real estate investing? Someone who is watching it on a side, they can learn from your mistakes.
Um, I would say the first one I'm going to say is first misstep was procrastination. Not
That's
not
that's pretty common.
it it is. I also do coach on human potential and on productivity, and I've learned a lot through that. And combining the two of them has helped me quite a bit. But procrastination is a huge it's a huge issue with a lot of people of being able to just take that step. You get fear and all kinds of different programming. There's so many things that cause procrastination that it's to me that's one of the biggest things. It's like if you don't get the ball rolling, even if it's small steps, procrastination, you can kill it by just, okay, if you're new in this business and you're trying to build you're trying to build relationships with either brokers or something like that. I mean, a small step like just picking up the phone and calling a broker today, just one.
Yeah.
That is such, it's a small step and anybody can do it. But taking that small step, it gives you just a little bit of momentum. And the more small steps you take, the more you push off that procrastination and you start getting something going. And once you start building momentum, look out, it just starts snowballing and it starts growing from there. So definitely procrastination was one of the big things that I had to overcome, and that is something, definitely don't make that misstep.
Yeah.
um I'd say my second thing is watch out and beware of shiny object syndrome. um when you're looking around, and especially in real estate, there's so many options and so many avenues and lanes that you can go down, and so many of them could be right for you, but you can't do them all. We're only, we're only one person to start off with, and if you want to gain that momentum and get traction and get going down the road, you really have to put your blinders on. And like with me, it took me a long time to figure out that I really wanted to solely concentrate on multifamily. I started off with the single family and the flips and, looking at those types of things, and then self storage and all these other, things, that all these other parts of real estate, that they all have their time, they all make money, they all make sense. But when you're starting out, you don't have the bandwidth to concentrate and become an expert at all of those at once. Granted, once you get multifamily down and you have some units under your belt and you have some traction, of
Mhm.
course you can look at other options and diversify. But when you're beginning out, just pick your lane and stay in it. And and the third part is not doing it alone. That was one of the things I tried to do, every little piece, and I realized pretty quick that there's some things that I'm not good at. There's just parts of this business that I'm either not that great at, or that there are some people out there that are so much better than I am, and it's worth my time and my investment into building those relationships so that we mutually are beneficial. But find those people that are good at the parts that you either don't enjoy or are not that good at, and help them fill out your team, so that way you can move faster, farther together.
Yeah, yeah, this is amazing. Yes, absolutely. We have a very similar mindset, you know. So when you say you are doing it everything together, it's like a control freak or the perfectionist. Hey, I can do better than everybody else.
Yeah, and then you find out that no, you don't. It's like, look, no. Somebody goes, well, I spent 2 hours looking over that deal to find this and this and this, and then, and then somebody else looks at it and goes, 30 seconds in, goes, oh, that's an issue and that's an issue, and you go, oh, and then you realize it's like, okay, I'm not the best for this particular task. I need, there's somebody out there that's better at it, and let the people who are good at things do what they're good at.
Yeah, definitely. David, I'm sure you have some, so many lessons learned in this process. It was never like a success, always the case. There's always some little hiccups. And I want you to share you're kind of almost like a failure in a real estate. And
Um,
what did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Probably my biggest mistake was not jumping on a deal when all the numbers were there, everything was there, and just having cold feet. I had a friend of mine that had a deal down in Alabama, and he goes, look, this is a great deal. He goes, and I won't put out the numbers out there, but it was a really nice deal. He goes, look, we're going to turn this around in no time. He goes, it's mismanaged, it's a mom and pop, and it's in an up and coming area that it's just minor tweaks, and this property's being abused. It's not being ran anywhere in the right way, and we'll be able to switch it. And I hemmed and hawed, and I didn't pull the trigger on it. And when I seen my friend's returns on that property, when he got all of his money back out in 6 months and still had his percentage of the property, I was quite sick with myself. And my lesson with that was just you gotta, when the numbers are there and it's right, you gotta pull the trigger.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's a good lesson. And I'm positive you won't do it again. That's enough learned already,
I'll put it this way: I don't know how long it will take me to replace the income I would have, but believe me, I remember the income that's not there now for sure.
So good. Let's just change the side of the table. So, what are your top three success secrets in multifamily?
I would say the number one is get a mentor. Whether it's paid or you're doing some sweat equity for a mentor, find somebody that is is where you want to go. And start asking them questions and talk to them and find out if if they need people to run numbers on deals, or if they need somebody to be a third person when they're doing their due diligence. Just be there for that person, and offer your time. If you don't have the means to offer them money to be your mentor, offer things that they offer your time, and help them help them be able to be more efficient, so that way if they're spending time with you asking questions, you've paid them back their time in another way to kind of help them out. But yeah, mentors would be my number one thing. Is get with a mentor, ask questions, and find people where you want to be. And if you don't have anybody like that that's close enough in your network, grab books and read books, and learn from reading material if you don't have actual humans, because books and people who've put their knowledge in books, those can be solid mentors also for you.
Good. One more.
And just do it. Take action. Go out there. That to me is the biggest key to success. Is and it's just opposite of procrastination, but it's go out there and do something. Whatever it is, it's get the ball rolling. Make a phone call to a broker, make a phone call to little mom and pop places around you. If you're wanting to get into multifamily, call around and find out who actually owns properties around you. Try and get in conversations. Buy somebody lunch, buy somebody coffee. Ask somebody to hop on a Zoom with you. There's that. That's kind of the amazing part of being in multifamily overall is There's so many people out there that will give you little nuggets of advice, and they really, sit down and approach them like they're humans. Be humble about it. Don't act like you know everything. Even if you think you do, don't act like it. And, just be humble and ask questions. And people will give you information and strategies just for you being nice to them and asking the question.
Good. I was just making comparing myself where I stand based on your success. Looks like a check, check, check. Because mentor, I have a mentor, Reckless Billionaire. I just mentioned, a moment ago. And the second is read books. I read books. In fact, I end up in writing this book too, New Success Secret.
Yes,
Third thing, execute. Guess what? I outreach to you. You said yes to us. So you are on this show. So we are talking to each other and learning from you. So that's the power of. It's possible once you outreach from the right angle with the right message to someone, people will say yes. David is the example.
definitely, definitely. And that's, like I said, just that action step, just it doesn't matter how small that action is.
Yeah,
Just keep if you keep making one small action a day, you'll get used to it, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, well, that was a small action and I can build on it. And I made one call today. Well, okay, I'll make 2 calls tomorrow. And just you build on that success, and who knows where it'll take you.
yeah. Create a habit of executing what you already learned. That,
Yes.
that's the missing piece in most of the people. They want to learn more, more, more. They never execute anything. That knowledge is no good at all.
Yeah. Well, if it's not, knowledge is not power until you put action behind it.
Yeah.
Because if knowledge was power, every librarian would be millionaires.
In fact, they end up in making the least most of the time. So
Yeah, I mean, so it's knowledge is nothing without action behind it.
yeah, applied knowledge is power. Not knowledge is not power. That's applied knowledge is power.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, David, people who are watching this now or in the future, how they can support you?
Um, Really, the best way that they can support me is just if you have deals and you're looking for somebody to look over your deal, or just to partner and just to see what you have there. I'm always willing to reach out and look at things like that. And also, on probably the biggest thing I'm focused on right now would be on my coaching side, and just business owners or entrepreneurs, CEOs that are really just trying to take where they're at and exponentially grow that. I'd love to have that introduction, because on that side of things, I'm seeing some amazing traction and some amazing synergies and things that are happening on that side. So any CEO or entrepreneur that's really looking to grow and get on, just be able to take their company to that next level, I'd love an introduction to be able to sit down and talk with them and see if we have synergies to help them get to that next level.
Wonderful. Website is on your screen, reispotlight.com. Is that correct, David?
Yep, that is correct. And there's a contact form on there. Just fill it out, and I'm usually real quick on getting back to you, and I'd love to hear what you have going on, and then see how we can have a synergy together and create results.
Yeah. In fact, when you go on the site, I want you to listen at least one podcast, one episode at least, so that you get to know him better. So then
Yes, definitely.
that's easy to carry on the conversation later. Hey, you said this, and I like this guest. Something common. So
Definitely. Yes, please.
yeah. So visit the reispotlight.com and podcast, then fill up the contact form, and then you will end up in talking to David
And,
Schwan. Yeah.
or if they want to just email me directly, it's david@reispotlight.com. So if you just want to email me straight up, it's just my name, david@reispotlight.com. So that's another way that they can get a hold of me.
Wonderful. David, I ask this to almost every guest as a kind of quick testimonial for being a guest experience on the show. What would you say
Yes.
to your best friend about Growth Hacking Secret show when I'm not there?
They just need to go ahead and hop onto the show. It is amazing, and Siddique just lets you pass on your knowledge and share your knowledge with his amazing audience. And it's been a blast, and it is runs like a well-oiled machine. So, if you have a chance to hop on his show, do it.
Thank you so much for your kind words. We really appreciate it. David, what would you say as a final word?
Go do it.
Go do it. Thank you.
Go out there. Go take action.
Yeah, take action and execute it. Thank you so much, David Schwan, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.